Today, we are going to figure out who is really the worst team in the NBA. This is going to be a fun segment because we got to get down to the bottom of it. Is it the Wizards, the Nets, the Hornets? Now, we're not talking about who's the worst franchise. We are merely talking about who's the worst team in the NBA today.
I think Indiana's the worst team in the league. They're at the bottom of the league in everything that's important, with the exception of guarding at the long ball line. I think they're at the top of the league in guard, which is kind of ironic considering they're at the top of the league in guarding at the long ball line and giving up threes. But everything else, Ron, they are absolutely, without a doubt, the worst. They're the second last team in the league in field goals. They're at the bottom of the league in field goal percentage. They're at the bottom of the league in three-point percentage. They're at the bottom of the league in two-point percentage, which means that they can't make layups or jump shots. They're the worst in the league at that. They're at the bottom of the league in assists, which means they don't pass. Is that a personnel thing? Yes, because their point guard is not available. And turns out Nembhard isn't as good as we thought that he would be, unfortunately. They're at the bottom of the league in fouls, which means that they don't play defense. All they're doing is fouling. And they're at the bottom of the league in points. Then on top of that, they're at the bottom of the league in defensive rebounding, which means they give up the most second chance points in the league. Indiana is the worst team in the NBA. And I got roasted when I said that they were going to be bad, considering losing both Halliburton and losing Miles Turner. Yo, we got Nembhard. We got Benedict Mathurin. We still have our wings. We're still going to be competitive. No, you're not. That team was built around Halliburton's skill set. That's why they play as fast as they play. That's why they play as organized as they play in that chaos that they have with Rick Carlisle. It only worked because of Halliburton. With Halliburton not being there, don't get me wrong, they did have to experience some injuries, and that I think that helped. I mean, I think that hurt them. But ultimately, this is a bad team. It's a bad brand of basketball, and it's all predicated on the fact that Halliburton isn't there.
I will 100% agree with you, and it's like I call it junk ball. That's my new thing right now, and I don't want nobody to steal it. Swiper, so don't you steal nothing from me no more.
You might have to trade.
Why would I use a phrase that bad?
Yeah, junk ball. Yeah.
So you making up terms to describe things that people. You just making up terms.
Facts. That's what I do. That's how you become a genius.
Give us a definition of junk ball.
What the Indiana Pacers do on offense.
Okay, that's an example. What exactly is junk ball in your estimation?
So I can tell you that there's already a definition for it.
Okay, so junk ball is pretty much I'm just playing the worst possible basketball that you can think of in your life, pretty much. Like just running up and down the court, just shooting jump shots, shooting threes. Like I will give you another example. The New York Knicks played junk ball against the Spurs in like the first quarter, like the end of the first quarter. Cat just coming down, just shooting threes and shit, junk ball. No strategy to it other than the undertone to it is the analytics said shoot it, junk ball. That's what we're doing. We just playing junk ball. So swipe it. Don't steal it.
Well, by the way, there's already something. There's already a name for this. By the way, Jordan, the name is
what is it called?
Negative B-ball IQ, low efficiency intelligence. It's what it's called. There's a term.
I like that. I actually like that.
There's a term for that already, Jordan.
One more time, Swiper. Wait. One more time, Swiper, for the people.
Negative IQ, low efficiency intelligence basketball is what it's called. It's a network called NITLQ.com. Look at it, Jordan.
Or in other words, Jordan, again, one more time, Jordan. What is it called?
Junk ball. Just
there you go. That's the end of it.
It's that simple. It. Junk ball. That's what the Indiana Pacers play. A bunch of junk ball. That's it.
Swiper, what's the acronym again?
NITLQ.
God damn.
Leave it alone, Jordan. Leave it alone.
What is it called
that's
again?
what it is.
What is it again, Swiper? So
negative IQ, low efficiency, intelligent basketball.
What? You gotta have some goddamn IQ to say that shit.
Negative IQ, low intelligent basketball.
Low efficiency intelligence. So you got to break it down correctly. Negative IQ, low efficiency intelligent basketball.
Negative IQ, low.
It's called the other acronym score is called NASQAC. So whenever you want to talk about junk ball, just say NASQAC.
No, I just go with
low
junk ball.
efficiency.
I'm gonna just go with junk ball. Junk ball a lot easier.
I mean, the easy pick is the Pacers, right? And I think that's what everyone's going to say because they have by far the worst record in the NBA. They haven't even won 20% of their games. Yeah, they're on a 10-game losing streak, and they're at the bottom of all these metrics.
Garbage.
Like points and everything like that. But I can also give an excuse like they don't have Halliburton. They're kind of coming off an NBA Finals. They might have ran out of gas off that long run. They also lost, they had some injuries at the beginning of the season too. Not all their players qualify for metrics because of it. So I would say the worst team to me is Sacramento. I know Ox isn't going to like that, but when you look at Sacramento, they're the only team in the league that's bottom 3 in both offensive and defensive rating. They're 0.5 away from having the worst net rating. They're 0.1 away from having the worst point differential. I mean, Zach LaVine has missed some games, but on any given night, Russell Westbrook's their best player on the floor in the big 2-6. I'm sorry there he is. Let's talk about it, Ox. Let's talk.
Can we use that same logic?
Talk about what?
We're talking about the title is who's really the worst team in the NBA.
You just said Halliburton's not there, but do you know Domantas Sabonis?
I was just about to ask that.
Sabonis play.
That's what I was just about to ask, Ox. Yes.
See, that's how trash they don't. That's how trash they kind of think Sabonis is, Ox.
Well, they still have Malik Monk. They still have DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine. I mean, he hasn't played since mid-December, but then they have Russell Westbrook, Keegan Murray. I mean, Sacramento, bottom 3 in both offensive and defensive rating.
Yeah, that's terrible. But you don't got to talk to me about that. I don't give a shit about the Kings.
I think if the question is like, which team would you not want to be in the NBA? I think the answer would be the Kings, because like at least the Pacers have Halliburton coming back to look forward to. The Wizards have a young core to look forward to. Same thing with the Pelicans. What other teams are there? Like the Hornets and stuff. They got Brandon Miller, who looks like he's breaking out, conker nipple, etc. The Kings are the only team where it's like they're trash, but they don't mean to be trash. Like they're accidentally trash. So that's why you wouldn't want to be the Kings, because they don't really have anything redeeming. Like they're not a young team. They don't have they have Reynaud looks decent. So shout out to him. Neek is cool, but he's an older rookie. He's 24, I want to say 23. So they just don't have anything like redeeming. But if you just ask me who the worst team in the NBA is, this is the 3rd straight year where apparently this panel just seems to be in denial about the fact that the Wizards are the worst team in the NBA. They've been the worst team for 3 years, and yet every time I say it, apparently there's a team worse than them.
It wasn't worse than Detroit, Mars.
Yes, they were. Then the year in which Detroit managed to lose 30 straight games, the Wizards won one more game than the Pistons. But they just managed to go under the radar the whole time, just being trash. Meanwhile, the Pistons actually had a coach sabotaging the team. They were playing players simply to sabotage the roster, whereas the Wizards just suck. Last year, the Wizards
30 straight games.
Apparently, they weren't the worst team in the league again. This year, the Wizards are the worst team in the league again. Like the Wizards have been the worst team in the league for 3 straight years now. This is the 3rd year, but they've been the worst team in the league. They can't guard anyone. They can't score with consistency. To me, I don't even think the Pacers are close by like proximity, but like the worst 2 teams in the league to me are the Wizards and the Kings.
The Wizards,
and I'm very comfortable saying
give up almost 125 points a game.
Yeah. The Wizards don't guard anyone and don't score. At least the Pacers defense is like the Pacers defense is like good bad.
Yeah.
Like of all the bad teams, their defense is the best. The Wizards are bad at everything. They don't score, they don't guard you. Like they don't do anything. At least the Pacers have the best defense of these teams by far. Yes. Whether that's statistically, eye test wise. At least they have something. The Wizards, they don't do any. The only bright spot for the Wizards are their young talent, which is why I would rather them be them than the Kings. Like Alex Sarr's having a breakout season. Shout out to him. He's been great. I don't know if you guys watched that Bucks game.
They don't even run anything for him, Mars. They don't run anything.
Yeah, he's pretty much.
Alex Sarr been good to me this whole season. I'm telling you, like,
he's been amazing this season. Like seeing the growth from year 1 to year 2. Bro. Yeah. He's been amazing. Keyshawn George is a young player who has like major upside with his size and playmaking ability and whatnot, and his ability to guard multiple positions. There's some people who still believe in Bilal Coulibaly for whatever reason, but athletic and tools and all that great stuff. Sure. Like they have reason to be optimistic, but they just suck. Like that's it. They suck, and they know they suck, and they're trying to suck. And hopefully they can get like a Darren Peterson.
What do they mean they're trying to suck? They've been sucking for the last 3 out of the last.
Hold on, no, Jordan.
Yeah, but unfortunately, due to draft lottery circumstance, when you're trash, but you don't see a number 1 pick.
Then
you end up staying trash. Like that's it. Like,
nice. It's been working for him. No, Trey Johnson.
Trey Johnson. I don't know how I didn't bring him up. He's really impressive.
Alex Sarr. Hey, if I say Bilal, I'm not saying that he's going to be one of their 1, 2, or 3 best players. But if Bilal is your 6th man, 7th man, or if he just is that wing defender moving forward, That's good for them. Like,
so what do the Wizards need then for them to be like good?
They need a
face of the
guard.
franchise.
Top four pick.
They need a face
majorly-
of the franchise.
They need
don't
a
have
guard. They need like a Darren Peterson, AJ.
They need a LeBron Wimby.
Well, wait a minute.
Like, they need that.
They don't play
George.
defense still though.
Okay, so
Yeah, that's a long way away. But
No,
Bub too. Don't forget about Bub as well. Bub, all right in that
Mars,
mix.
you brought up an interesting
I'm
point.
so
because,
good on Bub.
because for me, it was between Indiana and Washington. But if you look at the group, Mars, you just brought up a really good point. They have young talent. Okay, so
Yes.
if I got young talent, it's very much like being in the kitchen. I got all the ingredients. I got the wrong chef in the kitchen. He's screwing up all the food. They don't have any direction. They don't have any idea what they're doing offensively.
Well, their
They don't have
direction
any-
is stuck. That's their
they don't-
direction.
Well, what I'm saying is that they don't have anybody at the helm to point them in the right direction. When Bickerstaff got that job with Detroit, the first thing he did when he came in there was he had to change the culture. He had to
defensive
change
mentality.
the mind state, because what this team is a team that just came off of losing, to your point, Mars, 28 straight games. So the mentality there is losing. Okay, so
Right.
I got to get them out of that. Right?
Right.
So if we're in Washington, the mentality in Washington is losing. And not only is the mentality losing, these young guys don't know how to play at the pro level. Who is teaching them?
Right.
Wait,
I
That's why they brought in vets like
you
CJ
gotta-
and Chris. That's why they brought
You
those guys in.
you gotta let you can't just be in here cooking with limes and avocado and stuff that ain't ripe. You gotta let your food get ripe and you might have to age your steaks. You know what I'm saying? You gotta let them. You gotta let your wine breathe. You know
Don't
what
just
I'm saying?
take it out the package and throw it in the pot.
Yeah, you got when you take your steak even out the refrigerator, even if it's thawed out, you gotta leave it out and let it get to room temperature before you cook it. You know what I'm saying? Make sure it cooks evenly. So while you might have a
I'll fight you.
while you might
Yeah.
you might have this is there's a different situation. So on the panel as opposed to the Wizards, see, we got all the ingredients up here. We just got a garbage ass chef up there next to you.
Trash.
You know what I'm saying?
Garbage.
But in the win for the Wizards, they might have a good chef, chill. But when you trying to make guacamole, you got to make sure your avocados are ripe first.
Man, but at the same time, I don't understand how like a coach can't get a young team like that full of young guards and young energy to just buy in on defense. Like y'all motherfuckers y'all clearly not that good of scorers. I need y'all to lock in and become dogs on defense, bro. Like I don't get how the leader of that don't do it. And then the Wizards they traded Denny Avia too.
And
Like,
Rui.
huh? And
Well,
they traded
Rui
away
is fine,
all
but yeah,
of their
Rui-
guys.
trading Denny
remember,
for
Well, they got Rui.
Malcolm Brogdon.
They traded
handed him
him
over,
rookie.
Mars,
But
for a
they
bucket
traded all
extra.
the
Yeah,
guys
for
that they
2
did.
second-round picks, and he was still in his rookie
Malcolm
contract.
Brogdon is
And I
now
think
since
Denny was
retired,
also
so,
another
yeah.
bad trade they made.
Huh?
So
Just
I'm with
handed
you.
him over.
Yeah.
Like, here, you
Yeah,
can
I'm
have
with
him.
you.
Yeah, I don't agree. Like, but now we're going back to like the Wizards
And
franchise.
KCP,
Was meant
they
to
got-
be this
they
year,
got-
but, like,
they
the
were
Wizards,
KCP.
they're in the development phase. Like every team's in a different phase of their rebuild. You got teams that are contending, teams that are trying to get into contention, teams that are trying to make the playoffs, and then you got teams that are trying to bottom out and acquire talent. The Wizards are in that group. They're trying to bottom out and acquire talent. They're not trying to be a good team, but they're also trying to develop young guys while trying to teach them the right way to play. So to Jordan's point about why aren't they buying in on defense, my opinion is they just don't have that many gifted defenders. The ones who they do have are bought in on defense. Alex Sarr is playing defense this year.
Yeah,
Even
no,
Bilal,
Alex
but
Sarr-
Bilal sucks on offense. But Bilal
Yeah.
competes on defense.
He
Keyshawn
does.
George competes on defense. Even Chris Middleton, old man Chris Middleton, he's definitely out there giving what he can on defense. Like he's not just taking plays off because he's old and he's on a bad team. He's trying to lead by example out there. Also want to shout out to Marvin Bagley having a really good year this year.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
If a team wants to like maybe invest in Marvin Bagley, I think he could be a good backup.
He was the Grizzlies' best player in the playoffs last year. So
He had that one game where he made that half court shot, right? But like,
yeah,
there's reason to be optimistic. But when you're playing guys like Bob Carrington, who is one of the worst defenders in the league, a lot of minutes. When you're playing CJ McCollum, who's one of the worst defenders in the league, a lot of minutes. Shout out to his game winner the other night. Not taking credit away from him, but defensively he sucks. Trey Johnson is not a good defender right now. Like a lot of these guys, they have to fill out their frame. They have to mature. They have to become more intelligent, and they're trying to learn through playing. So you're going to lose a lot, but they're choosing to go the route of, instead of learning from the sidelines and watching, learn through reps and playing and understanding what mistakes you're making. But everything I've heard, because I've listened to CJ talk a little bit about the Wizards, he says that their culture over there, he says it's good. He says they're focused on development. He said that they're trying to do things the right way. So I can only take his word. I'm not there.
Till he leave and say, man,
but that's what I'm saying. Like, it's easy to say that when you're on the roster. Like, anyone, no one's gonna be like. It's very rare that a player's gonna be like, hey, actually, there's nothing's going on over here. But like, he seems to be optimistic about the situation, acknowledging like the talent on the roster and whatnot, and how they're trying to nurture it. I just think right now they suck. But I think Wizards fans knew they were going to suck this year. It's not like a surprise to anyone.
I have the bottom 8 teams, but this is the team with the second worst record in the NBA. And I still don't understand how they're here.
The Pelicans are not one of the worst. They're not in these talks, though. Like, we know they're not worse than the Pacers.
They're not that bad, Ron.
They're not. Like, the record may say it, but they're not. Like, I think that's why we kind of left them out.
Or how good?
They're in the next group up. They're in the next group up. They're like the Hornets in them. So, but they're not the King. They're not the Kings, Pacers, or Wizards.
So Ron, over at that table, you got the ugly chicks, and that chick is the best looking of the ugly chicks. And then over here, you got this table. It's the next level of ugly chicks. And the New Orleans Pelicans is the best looking of those chicks. Like, you see them, you're like, hell no, And then you look over there and you're like, maybe with a couple more drinks in me, I might go over there and say something.
Yeah, chill shit. Yeah. With a couple more drinks, everybody start looking like that. Right? All the women start looking like that with a couple more drinks.
That's why I've never drank.
That's the table that New Orleans is sitting at.
They definitely try it 1 or 2 times.
They absolutely ain't at that table over there, Ron. There ain't enough drinks in you to go over there and say nothing to none of them girls over there. Not one of them.
Zion looking good, by the way. Just want to,
especially coming off the bench.
They just put him back in the starting lineup, and he scored 30 in both games he started. So I'm just Zion's looking like Zion. I'll just say that he's looking more and more like Zion, spring in his step, getting to the rim at will, finishing with efficiency. His last, I think, 7 games, he's averaging 26.
Swiper, are we doing the same thing, Swiper, that and I said this to you before about Joel Embiid? Are we doing the same thing with Zion? Like, are we cleaning off the car? Are we detailing the car? Are we putting
to boost his trade value?
So by the time, you know, somebody's gonna pick the phone up and check our temperature on him and see how we feeling, like, I can probably get, like you said, if he's averaging 26 and 7 and he's looking real athletic, I might be able to get 2 1s for him. I don't know.
2 1s. Shit, I can get 4 1s for Zion.
I'm thinking on the low end.
Yeah, go ahead and try, brother.
I don't know if they're trying to trade him or whatever the thing is. Obviously, the injuries are a concern. Zion, whatever, is he going to stay healthy? Zion better than a lot of people in the NBA. That's what I know. Mm-hmm. Zion better than a lot of people. A lot of them.
Agree.
So whatever his trade value is, it's not going to be worth how good of a player he is when he's available. It's not.
But what's the issue over there though? Like, why have they only won 8 games?
They can't guard. They can't guard anything. Jordan Poole's been terrible. Jeremiah Fears is a young rookie who can't guard. Derek Queen doesn't guard. Zion's not a good defender. Trey Murphy's defense has fallen off a cliff the last couple of years. Jose Alvarado out there fighting people.
Allegedly.
I watched the fight. I don't know what to tell you. I watched it.
It wasn't a fight.
No, that's what I'm talking about, Jordan.
I watched him swing on him. I don't know what to tell you. I watched him swing on him.
It's not a fight.
Yeah. Their defense is just egregious. Their offense isn't like, once again, it's like the Pacers. Like, they have a good offense relative to the bad teams, but their defense just stinks. Like, they can't guard anyone. And they don't really have any redeeming defenders outside of Herb Jones. Similar to Marvin Bagley, though. Shout out to Sadiq Bey having
he's been awesome
career year.
Yes, he's been great.
So shout out to him. So, but yeah, they can't guard, and they're playing some very interesting players. They're playing some very interesting players, heavy minutes. I'm seeing Bryce McGowan's get heavy minutes. Micah Peavy's a part of their rotation. Jordan Hawkins has been nothing short of a disappointment since he got drafted.
I thought he was going to be good coming out of UConn.
Yeah, I thought Jordan Hawkins was going to be a lot better. I bought into like his shooting ability. It just hasn't translated, and now you just have an undersized 2 guard, thin frame who can't guard.
Would it be nice clear off the bench for another team?
That's what I was about to ask, but would it be because he was in New Orleans and they weren't really doing anything with him?
I just think it's the same thing with Sadiq. When Sadiq was with when he got drafted to Detroit 14 overall, I thought he was going to be like not a star, but like, you know, whatever a role player star is. You know, he's 6'8", super good shooter. Then he went to the Hawks. I thought he was good, but then he had the injuries that he was dealing with. I think Jordan Hawkins is very small. He can't guard super well, but I think when you're on a team that is deficient of wings and they don't have a rim protector, because Derek Queen's not a rim protector, you know, they haven't had a good interior defense on there. But I also know I've seen Jordan Hawkins go off against people before. He got a real a sniper on him. You know, he's a really good shooter. He's a good movement shooter. I just think you got to be in situations that like you have to have enough defenders around you to mitigate some of the stuff you're doing, and you got to have an advantage creator that can generate a lot of good looks for you. I actually think that Jordan Hawkins is one of those players. Like, he goes to a good basketball team, and he's coming off the bench and he's scoring 12 points, 16 points and a half. He's that kind of a shooter. Like, he's an instant impact shooter.
I do think that, Casual, because I think that when you got a guy like Jordan Hawkins that's a shooter, the first thing that I have to do, he's not a one-on-one player. He's not super nice with the peel, right? He's a guy who shoots the basketball. So I got to get him into action immediately. So guys like Isaiah Joe, when Isaiah Joe comes off the bench, immediately they running stuff for him. They getting them involved in the game. Aaron Wiggins in Oklahoma City, they getting them involved in the game because that's part of that's a major part of who he is. That enhances his game. Now, as far as defensively, Oklahoma City is good enough that they can protect both Isaiah Joe and Aaron Wiggins. Now, the same logic can apply to Jordan Hawkins. Only problem is that New Orleans is so bad. One, they can't protect him. Two, they don't run anything for him. They don't have anybody to run anything for him to get him quality looks where he can be productive. That's what and I feel like that's one of the main reasons why he isn't as good as he possibly can be with New Orleans. If he was somewhere else, I think he could be a lot better.
Yeah, Jordan Hawkins definitely seems like, just like how he was in UConn, he definitely seems like a guy who would benefit just being on a good team.
Yeah.
And just in better situations. Yeah. New Orleans just has no direction. New Orleans is like a place where if you're not like good, then you just have a hard time really thriving just because there's so many holes and losing and deficiencies all over the place.
Sure.
But yeah, like Mars said, pretty much outside of Indiana, like you can make an argument for all the league being bad just because all the worst teams in the league just can't defend. They're all 22 years. They're all like around my age, 21, 22, 23, and they play no types of defense.
You 22?
Yeah.
Damn.
And they play no types of defense. That's like
what's the word on DeJounte?
It's been about a year since he tore his Achilles, right? It's been about a year.
Yeah, I don't think he comes back to like after the All-Star break though.
I haven't heard anything. But I'd assume we're in the
Mars. That might be the best fix of a bad trade that I've seen in recent years, for them to be able to trade 3 unprotected for DeJounte, then trade him back to the Pelicans, and then to not have to worry about the injury and stuff, like, and to like stock their draft assets doing that, because I thought that was going to really doom them. DeJounte's a good player, by the way, but he wasn't worth the 3 unprotected that he got sent for.
He tore the Achilles last year at the end of January.
Mm-hmm.
That was his last.
Yeah, so we're approaching a year. So we're probably like maybe a month or 2 out from hearing something. I don't know if he's going to play this season. If they have nothing to play for, maybe you bring him back at the end just to see how he's moving, but not with like any real stakes. Jordan Poole's been an embarrassment. I just want to put that out there. He's been egregious.
Draymond really screwed this up, yo. He's supposed to be the future of the Golden State Warriors. We punched him in his face, threw a monkey wrench in everything that they was trying to do.
Like he started this season, like it was bad. He started the season, and then he got benched after like 3 games, and then there was like talk about like they had a falling out between him and Willie Green. So then I think, and then he's just been on the bench ever since, and he's just been like stinking up the court.
Stinking up the court is funny.
Like, I don't know, like there's nothing else to say. And I thought he was good for Washington last year. I thought like because his first year in Washington was bad, but then last year was good. I was like, okay, well maybe Jordan Poole's like figured it out or whatever. And then this year it's just been bad again. And like
he been playing junk ball too long. That's why he just been playing full of junk ball.
Because some of the decision making, like that down the stretch of that Knicks game, like he actually had like a good like game box score wise. I think he had like 25 or something. But down the stretch of that game, some of the decisions, like he tried to foul bait on a 3, like he was just doing stuff, and it's like, god damn, like I don't. It's a shame. I don't know. It's a shame.
That's Jordan Poole.
Yeah.
It's the panel. Religion get built on cam. With a check, throw smoke, and the hoes go ham. You ain't never seen hoops out here did raw. Every take got weight, every night we drop. This that barbershop. Courtside, worldwide tone. Welcome to the only show that really feel like numbers jumping like the score.